student. Today we'll discuss about the fifth part of the chapter measurement. So measurement part 5. Measurement part 5. Our topic will be, today's topic will be measurement of time. Measurement of time period with the help of a simple pendulum. So today's topic is your measurement of time and with the help of a simple pendulum. So your first question arises, what is a pendulum? What is a pendulum? Your first question will be, what is a pendulum? You know, the answer is when a heavy mass, you may consider it as a bob, duly suspended from a rigid support with the help of a how the heavy mass or bob is duly suspended with the help of an inextensible string. That means the string, with the help of that string, if we will hang a heavy bob, what will happen? If it will be extensible, that means it will expand its length due to the weight and gravitational pull. But in that case, the length of string increases. So that is why we are using inextensible string. Means whatever may be the heavy weight, whatever may be the mass or weight of the bob, that will not going to increase the length of the string. So that is why it is inextensible. Because time period of oscillation is related with the effective length. So that is why if length will increase, then what will happen? The time period of oscillation also changes due to the increase in the length or decrease. So that is why we are using the string which will not going to expand due to the heavy load which is duly suspended at its end from the rigid support. Okay. So when a heavy mass or bob duly suspended from a rigid support with the help of an inextensible string, then it constitute a simple pendulum. Clear? This is the definition of a simple pendulum. Now should I remove it, because I will have to draw the diagram of pendulum. You see, this is the rigid support as per the definition. That means the support also will not going to sag due to the heavy weight of the bob. And this is the string which is inextensible. At this end you are suspending a heavy bob. Now this will constitute the simple pendulum. Okay. Here this length Now I will explain you some definition. What will happen? Your first definition is oscillation. What do you mean by the term oscillation? A complete to and fro motion. Complete to and fro motion of the bob is called the oscillation. Then that means for oscillation, what we will have to do, you just pull this bob up to a certain distance from its mean position of rest. You are pulling it up to here. You have already displaced this bob. This position is the position of mean position of rest. Mean position of rest. That is your A. So when you are releasing your deforming force, what will happen? This bob come to its mean position of rest. And during its movement, it acquire the momentum because of the motion. And that motion is due to the gravitational pull. So, and also due to the energy that it acquired by raising up to this height from the mean position of rest. This is the height. Your level is this much. Your level is this much. So up to this height, when you raised this bob, it acquires a potential energy. And this potential energy changes to kinetic energy, and thereby it acquires a momentum or inertia of motion. So due to that momentum or inertia of motion, it will go in other direction up to this height. Again, you see the level. Then again, this potential energy converted into kinetic energy, and due to that kinetic energy, it reaches to here. Again, that kinetic energy also converted into potential energy. But at this stage, this will become the maximum kinetic energy. So, after attaining this position, again it will return back due to the gravitational pull to acquire the mean position of rest, and this process continues. So that is the complete to and fro motion of the bob is called a complete to and fro motion of the bob is termed as oscillation. So oscillation means a to and fro motion or complete to and fro motion of the pendulum is termed as your oscillation. Now should I remove for the next definition? Second definition is your time period of oscillation. Time period. Time period of oscillation. In this case, time taken to complete one oscillation is termed as time period of oscillation. Time period of oscillation. And it is denoted by capital T. It is denoted by capital T. Okay, you have got it. Now should I remove it for the another definition? That is frequency. Frequency. it is denoted by small f. Here the number of oscillation, the number of complete oscillation, that means number of complete to and fro motion of the bob of pendulum is termed as frequency. It is denoted by F. So that means when you are really pulling up by applying a deforming force up to this height, it acquires potential energy. This potential energy converted into kinetic energy to acquire its mean position of rest. But during its movement, it acquires inertia of motion also, or you can say the momentum also. And due to this momentum or inertia of motion, it reaches up to this height. And then again, while reaching up to this maximum height in other side of the pendulum mean position of rest, then again it converted that kinetic energy converted into potential energy, and finally that potential energy again due to the gravitational pull, thus bob also come to its mean position, and again further it acquire kinetic energy, and then again on the extreme left side it will reaches up to this position. So this number of complete to and fro motion, it will start from here, it will go to the extreme right and again come to the extreme left. From here it started, then you can say this is one oscillation. So number of oscillation completed in 1 second. The number of complete oscillation of the bob of the pendulum in 1 second, in 1 second is termed as frequency. It is denoted by F. So in 1 second, how many complete oscillations that bob will occur? So that will give you the frequency of the oscillation. Now third part, another definition is amplitude. Amplitude means maximum displacement of the bob from its mean position of rest on either side is termed as your amplitude. The maximum displacement of the bob on either side of mean position of rest is termed as amplitude. Is termed as amplitude. That means from this mean position of rest to the maximum displacement on either side, either this side or that side. This will become the amplitude. You now also in the next, should I remove it? Is it clear, everybody? Now I will explain you the relation between frequency and time period. Relation between frequency and time period. So the relation is frequency is the reciprocal of time period. F is equal to 1 by t. In unitary method also you can determine. In unitary method you can say that since t second is the time for one oscillation. Is the time for one oscillation. Therefore, in 1 second, number of oscillation is 1 by t. This much of oscillation, and the definition of frequency you have seen that number of complete oscillation in 1 second. So in 1 second the number of complete oscillation is 1 by t. So that is the frequency. It is clear? Now again I will remove it. Factors affecting the time period of oscillation. One more definition is left. That is the effective length. Effective length. Effective length is the length in between point of suspension to the center of bob. This is the up to the center of bob. Effective length is the distance or length between fixed point of rigid support and center of bob is termed as effective length. It is denoted by L. So this length from this fixed point of rigid support, from this point to the center of bob, it is denoted by L. So this is your effective length. Okay, clear? Now should I remove it? So in my next class, I will explain you regarding the factors affecting effective length and also factors affecting the time period of oscillation, and what are the factors on which time period of oscillation does not depend and depends. So that points we will discuss in my next class. Okay, so this much is enough for today. You please go through the video. Thank you. Okay.